right, y'all. Sorry about that. Um, I had to use the restroom. I think I peed on myself. I had to use so bad. I didn't want to stop the video, but I had to. It was really bad. Um, anyways, okay. So yeah, Joe. He is very special, and that's that. Um, I've had experiences in my life to where there's it's so crazy. There's so many people in the Bible. Noah, Job, Moses, Jesus, just to name a few. Those four people. Very significant. I just named four people of some really loyal servants of God. Those stories, I see there's times I've analyzed my own experiences that I've had in my life, stuff that has happened to me. And I have seen myself in all four of those people. Like, seriously, Noah, Job, Moses, and Jesus. Like, oh my God, wow, that happened to me too. Oh, wow. And it could just be me being who I am and what's built into my heart. Who knows? But I've been able to see myself in all of their stories because a lot of similar stuff that's happened in their life has happened in my life. And that's probably one of the reasons why I can relate so much. And their story is not weird to me. It's real to me because it's happened to me. So it doesn't mean I'm saying I'm them, but it's like, whoa, I can relate. It happened to me. So when it comes to Job and him there was a time period in my life where I didn't understand what was going on. But when I went through the storm and I overcame it after it happened, then I understood. I understood better what was going on. And it made me think of the story of Job. With the story of story of Noah, him preaching to a whole bunch of people mocking him, laughing at him, and oh, you're wasting your time. You look stupid. It never rained. It's kind of like how people today. Oh, you know how many years they've been saying that Armageddon's gonna come and it ain't gonna come? Yeah, okay. We've heard it so many times before. Yeah, right. That's how they did it in Noah's day. They didn't believe it was going to rain. Oh, yeah, okay, it's going to rain. You sound stupid. You really sound stupid. That's how people do it today. They've been hearing it so many times. Armageddon. You still talking about Armageddon? Okay, you're right. That's the story of Noah. And we all know the story of Jesus and the story of Moses. And I've talked about those stories a lot. And so, in case you're wondering how or why I can relate to those four individuals so much, is because I've been through a lot of the same stuff that they've been through in my life. When we are aware that it's the devil that's trying to take away what we have, we will probably want to protect it more. Like if you lose your home, you lose your kids, you lose your mind, mentally, spiritually, whatever. Then when you gain it back again, you get it again, you might be like, okay, I don't want that to happen again. If I got to take my job more serious this time, because I know when I had the kids with me, oh man, I wasn't taking it that serious. Oh no, I have to really be more disciplined this time because devil, you ain't taking my stuff again. Devil, you got to become like that. And it usually happens when it already happened to you. And you don't want to go back to that place. And when you don't have a lot of friends or family to depend on, then it's like, okay, God, you all I got. I have no choice but to become more disciplined and more focused and not allow the devil to do what he did before. Because I don't even, that's if you're in a position where you don't have no friends or family to be like, hey, can I stay at your house for a few months? The devil took away my home, so can I stay with you? The devil took my house away. Can I chill with you for like a few months, please? Help me out. If you don't have that, now you have no choice but to depend on God. And, you meet somebody new and say, the devil took my home away. They're going to be like, what the hell are you telling me for? I don't even know you. What you telling me about your house? That sounds like a personal problem. That's usually how it is. You trying to tell someone new you meet that the devil took your stuff away? Because you are aware that the devil took your stuff away. Well, you allowed it some kind of way. Maybe you was going through some mental problems. You had some kind of drug issue, alcohol issue, whatever it was. That is how you can allow the devil to take your stuff away. Meaning, let's say you got to pay your rent or you have to pay your bills and other things become more priority. When I say other things, addiction or whatever it is, that's a way you allow the devil to take it away. That means you can prevent it. That means even if you have a little problem here and there, if you become disciplined enough, you'll know, oh, hell no, I got to separate my problem from this and have some kind of balance and not allow that to happen because I need somewhere to live. So there's a way to prevent the devil from taking your stuff, but the devil will take your stuff if you see, oh, they got a problem. I'm about to come up here and take and it could happen from a godly servant. Look, it happened with Job. He was that scripture I read about him being a perfect person at that time, he was the only perfect person that God considered to be perfect. And it happened to him. That means it could happen to anybody. It happened to me. It could happen to anybody. So we got to be careful of what we're allowing in our lives and just try to have some kind of balance, because what we don't want to do is try to blame the devil of taking our stuff away when there could have been a way we could have prevented it or something, But that's why it's important to understand how God thinks. Because the more we understand how God thinks, the more we can be protected by how God thinks. Like I said, you're more disciplined. I mean, spiritually disciplined. That's what I mean. I mean, by God, the way he thinks, his scriptures, his words are his thoughts. The scriptures usually are his thoughts. Then we're not worried about the devil taking away our stuff no more, because we are living a righteous life, and we're just being more careful. Let's just say be more careful. Number 2, why does God expect us to forgive so many times? Well, what do you think? Well, here's my answer. He knows how imperfect people are and how they make mistakes. Also, this is a good point to make. The more a person forgives, they will also be forgiven. So if you want other people to forgive you, that's why you should forgive. And that's why I said I still want to keep the 77 rule that I probably already had and never realized I had that, because I am really forgiven, even with people that may do the worst things to me. But when they come back in my life and they show me how sorry they are, I can easily okay. But if like I said earlier, if they don't show me how sorry they are and they just say it, I'm not going to believe them. It's not going to mean nothing. I'm going to start thinking about, wait, I don't believe you. I'll see it when I believe it, But I still keep that 77 rule. I'd keep the 3 strikes you're out when it comes to me wanting to have good relationships with other people and not wanting to ruin it. I'm trying to play the same game they play. I hate to say it, but it's like, okay, if that's how we're going to play, that's how we're going to play. You give me 3 strikes, well, damn, I guess I got to really be perfect now. Because if I mess up one time, I've been in situations, and I talked about this the other day with my kids, and I don't want to go too much in detail about it in this video. But if it's just one situation and you do something, you make a comment that can be so offensive to someone else. It's just that one situation where people can shun you, criticize you, and shut you out. And you might be really mentally messed up in that moment at that time, and it'll do some kind of mental damage to you just off of one comment. Is alcohol involved? What's involved? But when that happens with me, when people mess up, I'm just like, and they say like, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm like, no, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Because I want that. I want that. That's how I want them to be with me. But I've been on that side. I've been on that side to where it's like, well, damn, I feel like I've been made out to be a, a killer. Like, I've been made out to be like the worst monster ever that lived because I made one offensive comment. And it seems like these people are so difficult for them to forgive. Who's that perfect? Who really is that perfect to be looking down and say, you shall never be forgiven? God don't, and God is perfect, and he don't even feel that way. He don't even feel like I'm too perfect to forgive y'all. He's so perfect to where he forgives that much. That's what I'm saying. Think about the word perfect and what it really means. So yes, you treat people how you want to be treated. If you want to be forgiven, you should continue to forgive people. And when I say forgive, I mean it. I don't mean just you say, I forgive you because I'm a godly person and that's the way I gotta be. No, you mean it because people are going to feel it when you don't mean it. I hate to say, like, spiders have different senses. Let's talk about Spider-Man. He got all these senses like a spider. They can pick up certain things and they'll know. Hold up. Something ain't right. It's like a Spider-Man. you know? All these senses. So it's just like, no, really mean what you say what you mean, and mean what you say. I'd rather someone like really. Because people do say, okay, no, it's cool, don't worry about it. But then later on, after you make one comment, you could do something so simple as far as, and I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I've tested people out. I'm not gonna lie. I could meet someone, tell they so fake. Some people that like to play the victim so well, and I've purposely made comments just to see how evil they will be. I know this is so stupid, but I'm just saying, just to see how forgiving they would be to me, or forgiving or evil. And I'm telling you, some people, all you got to do is just make the comment once, and they will show themselves. They will show who they really are. And I would be forgiving, like, hold on, it's cool, I ain't tripping, whatever. But the other person is not. They will pretend and act like it, but you can feel, oh, wait, why are they doing this? They doing that? Come on, man. That happened so long ago, and you still being petty? Yeah, that's how people are. Especially if they're not godly, you'll see it. So, anyways, I'm not expecting everybody to be godly. But for the people that can be, and it's a lot of people out there, it's not just me, just know that if you want to be forgiven, be like God. You really want to be like God? Okay, well, really forgive someone. Don't hold no animosity, because trust me, another person, they gonna feel it, because I know I feel it. I be feeling it. Number 3, when and how much should we forgive someone? So I say when and how much. So I already stated the scripture 77 times. And really, you think that means exactly 77, but my interpretation of 77 means like an unlimited type of time. You might be doing your calculations. You go to your calculator and be like, hold up, we on number 55 right now. You messed up 55 times. We got about 20 something more to go. And then I ain't never forgiving you again. Well, that's not what 77 means. If you really understand how God thinks, 77, it could be like an unlimited type of thing. Because once you start counting, if you really counting, that shows how petty you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. Like, if you really start counting of how many times, I don't think I've ever written it down. Like, this is the 7th time you did me wrong. Okay, oh, he did me wrong. This is the 16th time. Who does that? That's somebody that sound like the love is conditional or something because you writing it down. You really gonna write down how many times they messed up until you get to number 77? I don't even think God even meant literally. I think that 77 was a figurative. I really believe it was a figurative 7, not a literally 77, because then you're going to be over there counting down. Okay, this is the 25th. Really? Like you keeping count? That's not what real love is, to be keeping count and you writing down. It means you just keep on forgiving. That's really what it means. That's how much you should. But however, I know a lot of people are going to be playing baseball. 3 strikes, you're out, buddy. And we kind of got to get out of that, because it's like, are you really that perfect to set that type of rule? God is perfect, and he's not even setting that type of rule. 3 strikes, really? Who really is that perfect? Doesn't make any sense. When I said when and how much, so I already talked about how much. When should we forgive somebody? Let's think about it. When should we forgive someone? When? The moment I hear someone say sorry, my ear is already like, it's open. I'm like, I got my eyebrows up, my antennas, my spiritual antennas, like light bulb on top of my head, like ding. Like I'm already, what? I'm surprised that they even said the word sorry. Because nowadays, just to hear sorry, especially where I'm from, living in Detroit, and the family that I have had, I don't ever hear that, ever. And if I do, it's really rare. I can't even remember the last time I heard sorry. Now, there probably has been a time with a certain individual, I believe someone did say it in a way to where I'm like, okay, I can hear a little remorse in the way they're saying it. But, and believe it or not, that was coming from someone I didn't even really want the apology from. That was coming from someone to where it's like, wow, that's nice, but this is not even really who I wanted to hear it from. Sometimes it be like that. It be's like that. But I think the moment, and when I say I think, this is my opinion, this is what I believe. I believe that the moment you hear I'm sorry, you should definitely listen to that person, because it's not often when people are so fixated on trying to be with this image as if they've never done nothing wrong. They don't even want to do that, to say I'm sorry, or that they did something wrong or did you wrong, because they're too worried about how they're going to look, or they're going to look bad. But it's like I don't think they realize that they make themselves look worse by pretending to have this fake perfect image. And it's like, no one's that perfect. That's not really God's perfect. That's a fake perfect. So that's what I would say. When is when you hear sorry. And if you don't see any actions, this is how I feel about it. If you don't see any actions following up after that sorry, just do this and just move on. I mean, don't try to chase the person. Say, hey, what happened? You that? No, you already gave them an opportunity to show them, or for them to show you that they're sorry. You gave them the opportunity. You accepted their apology. If they don't show you, let's say they said they're going to try to meet up with you, or they wanted to connect with you, or they wanted to spend time with you or have a conversation or whatever they said they were trying to say and it never happens or they make no action towards it. That's what I'm saying. Some people can make an apology and it's just that. But if they say more things added to that sorry and you don't see those things, that's what I'm saying. If you don't see those things that they say, just move on. Because I think anybody would be like, were you really sorry? But like I said, I really do want to make myself clear. It's possible to have a sincere apology and it's just an apology. They're just saying sorry and they want to know that they're being forgiven and have another chance and you accept it. But the moment a person start making statements like, yeah, let's get together, I want to see you ASAP, let's do this, and you don't see it, then that's when you should question, like, hold up. I thought you said you was gone. I haven't heard from you. The person that is sorry, they should be making those phone calls. They should be trying to figure out where you are, what time. Please don't run after or chase somebody that did you wrong. Because I used to do that and I don't do it no more. Because now you're enabling their bad behavior. You're giving them a reason or excuse to keep treating you badly because now you're hunting down the person and say, hey, you were supposed to do this and I thought you were sorry. What? No, allow them to do it. If they don't do what they say they're going to do, then they probably weren't sorry. That's just how I feel. They probably, unless they got into some kind of car accident, which is going to be probably rare, like really right after they apologize, they got in a car accident, really. They end up in the hospital or Armageddon came or something really bad happened to where now you no longer hear from them right after apology and they said they were going to meet up with you. That's really rare. But I would just take it as, okay, maybe they wasn't sorry, whatever, I'm moving on with my life. That's how you should keep it. Because if you keep making effort with the same people that you've known several years in your life, and I'm speaking from experience, I'm not going to say no names, but I'm definitely speaking from experience. They're going to keep treating you badly because they see, oh, I don't have to make that much effort. She just going to come to me anyways, and I did her wrong. She's stupid. I know how people think. So you don't want to give them that. Give them an opportunity to show it, and if they don't, move on. Simple. Number 4. What are some examples of strange love that involve God's people? Oh, I already mentioned that. But I'm just doing the review right now. So Noah building an ark. Who does that? You spend all these years building this big old boat or this ship because you think God is going to cause a flood and destroy the world. You are out of your mind. You're weird. That's how they were acting. Like, no, think about it. 8 souls were saved. That was only Noah and his family. It wasn't nobody else other than him and his family. That means nobody cared about they didn't believe it. They didn't care. They didn't believe it enough to want to be a part of his life and be like, hey, Noah, what's up? What you doing today? Want to hang out? I mean, trying to get close to him or something because, hey, we know when God says something is going to happen. So we want to get in that boat. When you done building that boat, we want to get up in there. I ain't trying to drown. So I'm about to be his friend. No, they weren't thinking about trying to be his friend because they thought he looked crazy building a boat, talking about it's going to rain. They thought he looked real dumb and crazy and strange. That Noah's Ark is a perfect example of strange love. Perfect to me. Another example of strange love that I mentioned is God's love to sacrifice Jesus. It's strange when if you really think about it, if you have kids, and I'm sure you probably got kids, you might have kids. Would you ever sacrifice your son for the whole world? Probably not. Like, really, would you allow your son to get killed to save other people? No. You don't want, you're going to defend your son. You're going to do whatever you can to protect your son. You're not going to, that's crazy talk, right? Well, that's what God did for us. But just thinking that, it's like, who does that? Who really loves that much to do that? God. God does. His love is different. But those two examples, Noah building the ark and God's love to sacrifice Jesus, that is, it could be strange to people that don't have that kind of love inside of them. 5. What's the difference between God testing us and the devil testing us? Good question. This is really a good question. This is really a good question. The difference is God tests us. Did I say tests? Because I don't think tests is a word. He tests us to see how loyal we're going to be to him, how much we care about him, his word, to see how much we love him. That's how he tests us. Same way he tests Abraham, that loyalty, having a loyalty like that for someone is a love. There's got to be some kind of great love involved in that type of loyalty to where you're going to sacrifice your own son. And God, like I said, God didn't even expect him to do that. He was just playing. I just wanted to see what you're going to do. He didn't even want him to hurt his son. He was just testing him. I'm trying to think. God, who? Yeah, that's how he tests us. You want to see Abraham? Abraham. That's a good example of how God tests us to see how loyal we are, how much we care. The devil. Let's talk about the devil. And I might think of other examples of God testing us, but for some reason with the devil, there's so many. And I read that scripture already in Genesis chapter 22. So you know where I got that information from. The sources that I used for this lesson today, and I'm almost done, was the Bible. I didn't really use too many outside sources of the Bible because a lot of this stuff, really, strange love, was pertaining to godly people. So I went right into the Bible and I thought about what's strange. Oh, Jesus, Noah, Moses, me. Destiny, you're strange. I thought about those people and I knew I had to get this information from the Bible. So that's the source that I used for this lesson today. But the devil, he tests us. The devil want us to do something bad. He do. He gets closer to us when we do bad. Think about it. There's a scripture and this is pertaining to God. This is my last question for this lesson. Okay? But this is a scripture about God. I want to look it up real quick. I believe I remember it, but I believe it's in the book of James. I'm guessing 4:8. Let's see if it's in that. James 4:8. Yeah. So in 4:8, draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. So that's about God. The closer you get to God, the closer he's going to get to you. The more understanding you'll have, and the better choices you'll make, and your life is going to be better just because you got closer to God. We know the devil is opposite of the God, or I said of the God, but of God, right? That means if you so by doing bad, in a way, you're getting closer to the devil. The devil's going to be getting closer to you the more bad you do in your life. It's the opposite of God. When it states to cleanse your hands, I love the scripture. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. At one point in my life, I can really be confident to say I was a part of this. When I say a part of the scripture, like you're trying to make up your mind, do I want to go? Destiny, are you really ready? Look at, I mean, it's fun out there. Look at the life you've been living out here. Are you really ready? Because what if you mess up? What if you fall? What if double minded means you are, I don't want to say confused, but you're not ready to make that conscious decision to really go all out and be like, hey, I'm about to change everything and this is the life I want to live now. If you already made a practice of all these other things, it's going to be very difficult and mentally challenging to even think you can do the opposite. So you will be sitting there contemplating it. Like, should I? Should I not? Should I? Ooh. And that's why when it states, cleanse your hands, you sinners. You know what? I want to read this real quick out of the Jehovah Witness Bible because the word double-minded, I believe it was worded differently. And I'm really trying to think of the word, but for some reason it's not coming to mind. So I want to see if it's in here. Or a yeah. It's in here. See, that's the word I was thinking. So in here it states, draw close to God, and he will draw close to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you indecisive ones. Ah, that word, indecisive. I like that. I don't mean I like indecisive ones, but what I mean is I like that the word makes more sense to me. Because some people might be like double-minded. What does that mean? But indecisive. I was once indecisive. Like you're trying to make up your mind. Come on, decide. What are you going to do? What choice are you going to make? Are you going to be on God's side or the devil's? You better stop being indecisive and make your choice because when that day comes, it's going to be too late if you wait too long. And I was once indecisive. I'm not anymore. But I understand being on that side because I was on that side. So, why am I saying this? Well, I'm saying it because it's obvious of why I'm saying this. The devil knows we can be indecisive at times by the things we're practicing in our lives every day, whatever sin, whatever we're doing, that's not godly and it's sin. And he's looking for those moments to get close to us for us to get close to him. You have to be aware of that, which a lot of you are, and maybe some of you could be ignorant of it. But just know that in those times, he's going to be testing you a lot. Like, might be testing you to do something bad, to sin, whatever it is. You know inside of you. When you have that feeling, it's like a child knows inside them without a Bible. You don't need a Bible to know and feel it inside of you or when you about to do something wrong. God placed that in us. We don't need a Bible to know when we're about to do something wrong. We don't need it. Children can feel it. That's why when they, sorry, mom, I stole a piece of candy from the store. I'm sorry. Because it's something in them that God placed in them to where they know they did something wrong. You don't need a Bible to tell you. You can feel it. But the devil is looking for those moments where he knows, oh, this person got a problem with this. Yeah. And he wants that because he wants a lot of people on his side. He don't want you to live forever. He don't want you to have everlasting life. He don't want you to be in a new system. So the more bad you do, you're just going to get closer and closer to him. And you're going to suffer from it. But the devil tests us to destroy us. He wants to destroy us. He wants to take away everything we have so we can, depending on the devil. How do you depend on the devil? Prostitutes depend on the devil. This is an example. Let's say a person lose everything they have and they become a prostitute. Now they're depending on their own fleshly body to make money so they can pay their bills or pay whatever purses they want, whatever they need, shoes, clothes, wherever they're trying to live, housing. They're depending on their own body. So now they're depending on fornication, which is a sin, to live their life and to be successful. But in a way, that's dependent on the devil because you're depending on sin to have a great life. That means you're going to get closer and closer to the devil. And the more you depend on him, not only, I mean, that's a test right there. When he see you fail the test, he's going to know you're capable of failing the test and he's going to keep testing you. And it's destroying you spiritually and mentally because, believe it or not, the further away you get from God, the further away you get from God, the further away you get from God's promise, his plan, what he could have for you in the future, how he can save your life. You get further away from it. That's why it's important not to fail the test. Because a person can be like, I got all this money. What do I need God for? So, oh well, let the devil test me. I don't care. I got everything I need. Well, let's see how long that lasts, because when God really intervenes, and when I say intervene, I mean intervening so much to where you know who is God and who is the devil. It's going to scare you. And when I say it's going to scare you, it scared me. When I start reading scriptures, I'm like, oh snap, Destiny. Oh, the first time I read James 4:8, I was like, you don't want to be indecisive no more. Oh my God. I started learning about all this, the truth and all this stuff. And even though I didn't get my act together when I was in high school, I never forgot what I learned. It took certain tragedies and situations in my life to wake me up, and then I remember what I learned about the scriptures. And those things combined, a tragedy and the scriptures, that will be enough for a person to change everything, you know. But yeah, the devil wants to destroy you because he knows eventually he's going to be destroyed, and he wants to bring as many people down as he can. So he might offer you something, whatever it is, you know, but it's not going to be worth it. You lose your life, lose your, I was going to say, lose your wife, your life. Um, yeah, I know. You're just going to lose in the end. And some people been feeling like they've been winning for so long, but a lot of people ain't going to admit when they really losing because they don't want to seem to, whatever, they don't want to seem to appear to be a certain way. So that's the difference. That's my last question. That's the difference between God and the devil. Is the devil wants to destroy you and make you lose everything to where you have to depend on him and live a life full of sin. And when you mess up, it's going to be difficult. You might feel like it's going to be difficult to change your ways and go to the good side because now you got all these sins and sins stacked on top of each other to where you're in fear. Like you're in fear, like, oh my God, if I try to do the right thing, is my secret going to be told? Am I going to be exposed? Can I get to the other side? There's always a way to get to the other side. The devil don't have as much control as you think. He only has enough to make you think he has that much control. But yeah, just stop doing what you're doing. Just stop doing what you're doing. You don't want to be dependent on the devil because trust me, He's only going to lead you to destruction. He's going to lead you to destruction. And I want to conclude. I really want to conclude this because I know a lot of people might be thinking like, how is it possible to get from, if they do a lot of bad stuff, how can they get to the good side? I think it's possible for anybody. Um, Pray to God, talk to God. Sometimes all it starts with is a prayer. When you start seeing signs that God answered your prayer, then you'll really know. Like, okay, this is a sign. This is something I prayed about, and now I'm getting answers. Really, when I say talk to him, a sincere in your head saying whatever you feel. You want to talk to God. God, I've prayed to God before. God, I want to know you. I need you. And then I began to notice right away that he heard my prayer. I knew it was him. So you think things start happening after you pray. Don't say it out loud because the devil can hear you. Say it in your head. Whatever you want from God, whatever you want from God, say it in your head and he'll give it to you. Even if you're a sinner, we've all been sinners. No one is exempt from being a sinner. No one. So whatever you want from God, say it in your head and he will answer you. But you got to really mean it. That's only if you really want to change and you want to go to the light. But if you still want to enjoy whatever you're doing and you don't believe that his day is going to come, then you can just stay in the dark if you want to. But anyways, there's a lot of scriptures about the differences, but I'm not going to go over any of those scriptures today because you know what? Some of them I did talk about. The scripture about Genesis 22, that was God testing Abraham's faith. Actually, I did. I'm sorry, my bad. Those two scriptures are about how one God he tested Abraham and his loyalty, and then the other in the book of Job, where the devil. Okay, that conversation with God and the devil. God allowing the devil to test Job. So the devil saying, hey, the only reason why this man even love you and worship you is because of all that he get from you. I bet you if you take away everything he got, he's going to curse you. And that didn't happen. That was a lie. So that's the two instances. The devil was like, hey, he only doing this because of what you give him. He's basically trying to say nobody can really love you, God. That's really what the devil is saying. No one can really love you. They can't. It's impossible. They love me more. That's what the devil was trying to say, in other words. That's his way of testing. Like, I bet you I can get people to like me more than you. And throughout history, it really, when you think of the godly servants, it seemed like it was few. But it's so many. Now there's so many people living on the earth. There's so many people that do believe in God to where they can pass that test. So you'll know. If you think of the story of Job and you think of Abraham's story, those are two instances of God testing someone and the devil wanting to take away everybody's. God wasn't trying to take away nothing Abraham had. He just wanted to see how much he cared about him. He wanted to see how loyal he was and if he was going to do what he said. Like, how loyal are you? How much do you really care about me? Let me see. Are you going to listen to what I tell you? But the devil, he was trying to take everything away from him. His kids, his animals, give him a disease, and make him lose his mind. If you ever read the book of Job and you see Job sound really, really confused, he was kind of losing his mind spiritually. The devil was trying to take away everything. That's how the devil tests you. Eventually, if you are a godly person, he'll try to take everything away from you. But it's a way to prevent that. You can prevent it. Don't fall for the test. There's a way to pass the test. So, um, I want to conclude that. Uh, I want to conclude this lesson today with that. This is the Strange Love podcast, but this lesson is about strange love. God's love is strange to people, and a lot of people's the way they act and the way their love might be strange to God. So I guess it depends on what you consider to be strange. What is your perspective? That's what I was talking about. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Don't laugh at me. You might laugh at me because I had to use the restroom and I had to restart the video and do a whole. This is the part 2 of the video. But it is what it is. Sometimes, hey, accidents happen, and it is what it is. So, I'm gonna end this now. I do want to say the next video. I'm gonna figure out what I want to talk about next week because it seems like there's always something to talk about. So I don't even want to. I'm not gonna announce what I'm gonna be talking about next week, but just know it'll be something interesting. But until then, I hope you enjoy your week, and remember, every day is a test. You have a choice to go to the right or go to the left, whichever side you want. But just know one side is God's and the other side is the devil's. You have the choice. We all have a choice. Bye bye.